Welcome to Being Free PH, where we give you the opportunity to learn on how to save and invest and be free. For today's session, this is our first iceberg session where we talk about or deep dive on a specific topic. And our topic for today is the stock market. But before we start, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button below, and hopefully you'll be able to or so that you'll be able to receive notification on the videos that I'll be uploading, especially on this series. Let's go ahead and start. So for this first iceberg session, we'll be talking about stock market, right? So if you're new to the stock market, or if you've been hearing about the stock market for quite some time and don't know what to do with it, so this is the opportunity for you to learn, right? Because we'll be guiding you from the very start, right? Our focus is for those who are full-time employees or those people who haven't really started investing in the stock market or don't have any account, right? So what we'll be doing is show you step-by-step procedure on how to invest in the stock market. We'll start from the mindset, right, the different strategy, and hopefully we'll be able to execute as well, right? This iceberg session is divided into several sections. Each section is one episode or one video, right? So there will be several videos for our Stocks 101, and hopefully when you hit the notification button, you'll be able to receive updates on when is the next video being uploaded. So, for our agenda, technically we'll be talking about what are the first thing that you need to know before you invest in the stock market. So we have the first things first, and we have several activities in place, right? Like buying your first stock and selling your first stock. I'll explain later why that comes first before choosing your first stock in the stock market, right? Or choosing your first company, and then the moving forward. But anyways, for this episode, we'll be talking about first things first. All right. So first things first. Before you invest in the stock market, is you need to know the reason why you're investing. That's pretty important. Investing in the stock market is the same way as putting up a business or similar things like your endeavors that you do. You need to know the reason why. If you don't know the reason why, then there's a big opportunity for you to lose money, right? So again, when you invest in the stock market, you're using your hard-earned money, and we we educators, or we the one who actually teach you, we don't want you to lose your hard-earned money, right? But of course, this is investing. There's upside, downside, meaning there are opportunity for you to earn and opportunity for you to, or will teach you on how to lessen your risk or losing money, right? So you need to know the reason why first, and several reason why people invest, because it, first them it's fun, right? It's fun. It's something like different. Not everybody knows this, so it's fun for them. Others would think about investing in the stock market because they want to be millionaires immediately, right? Is that possible? Yes, it is possible, but you need to have a big amount as well, right? So that's something you need to think about. Some people invest in the stock market with the possibility of replacing their job or making it their full time work. So it's like they're going to be a full time trader. So if you have that mindset, then it's a different strategy. Okay. If your mindset is you want to be a full time trader, or you want this or the stock market being investing in the stock market to replace your job, then if this is your first time investing, it would take some time, right? I know some people who are investing in the stock market for quite some time and still are not able to replace the salary, I mean, the income that they're getting from their salary, right? But most likely, the focus of our um, this session is for those who want to have another source of income, right? This is one thing that would help you put your money into good use in investing in the stock market by earning some gains from, for example, Ayala or SM and the like, right? Other people invest in the stock market because it's a hype, right? Especially with the pandemic that's going on right now with COVID-19, a lot of people are saying that you should be investing in the stock market. For one, the market is open. It's been closed only for a day or two, but it's been open, right? So a lot of people are investing, but still, opportunity for them to earn, right, from the whole COVID-19 pandemic that we're having now. For others, this is an opportunity for them to learn new things, right? Or they're not yet sure, so they want to learn it, right? And others would want this to have a passive income. So again, the stock market for me, right? This whole journey that we're going to, if you follow through these videos, um, it's it's not toward passive income for now, right? Because just an estimate for you to have this as a passive income, an estimate would lead, I would rather say that your capital would be in the lines of 15 million to 20 million, right? So if you have that money ready, right, then you can have the stock market as a passive income. I can actually teach you or help you have like 1 million a year as a dividends, right? There's certain companies that can give you that if you have that amount of money, right? So our focus for this session is for those who want to have another source of income or for those who want to learn, right? And hopefully in the long run, maybe, right? You have maybe this can be their full-time job and be full-time trader, right? But again, our focus is for those who want to have another source of income and for those who are full-time employees like me or those who don't have enough time because probably they have other businesses as well, but that's their main source of income. They just want to invest in the stock market as another source, right? Because we also, for being free PH, we also believe that a multiple source of income would actually be the key for you to be financially free. So let me ask you again, why are you investing? I'll give you 5 minutes or so. You can pause this video, right? To think about it. Write it down on a piece of paper. Make sure it's there that, something that you can read every now and then, right? Because that's very important in preparing for your accounts, right? For the stock market. Because the stock market has different strategies as well. There are strategies for long term, strategies for short term, strategies for very short term in a sense like daily trading, right? Where you try to trade every day, right? So different reason for investing, different strategies. So you need to know why. So what do you need? So I listed down here three important things. So the first thing is initial capital. You need to have a starting point, right? There are a lot of brokers out there that would allow you to invest in the stock market or to open an account with just 1,000 pesos, 5,000 pesos, or 10,000 pesos. There are even brokers that wouldn't have any amount, right? For example, banks. For example, you have your BPI, BDO. um, Metro Bank, I think, right? So if you have accounts with them, you actually don't need um, to invest any amount initially, right? But of course, you need to because you need to buy a stock. So for me, right, again, this is just my opinion. For me, a good starting point is 30,000. Why 30,000? 30,000 is an amount that you can buy significantly a certain stocks, right? A certain stock. It's an amount that not everybody can easily produce. It's an amount that if you don't have it, you need to save for it, right? Especially if you're a full-time employee or you're just starting out and you don't have that amount. It's a target that you can reach, right? It's not too high, it's not too low. It's just there in the middle where it's if you really want to learn about it, learn stock market, then that's a good amount already. For those who have more than 30,000, then good for you. Then we can go ahead and start, right? But if you don't have that 30,000 yet, now, then I would say maybe the stock market is not just for you. You need to change a certain mindset, a certain behavior, right? In order for you to get this 30,000. That's why I'm saying, or our motto is, or one of our motto is mindset, strategy, and then execution. Because you need to have the right mindset first, right? So investing in the stock market, you need to have the right mindset. This is not just you invest 5,000 and that's it, right? It's a continuous thing, right? So your initial capital is very important. It would tell a lot on your seriousness in investing in the stock market. I know there are some folks that would say, "But I can start with 5,000." Sure, go ahead. That's okay. I don't have any problem. Just for you to learn to check if this is for you, right? But go ahead and if you want to really learn, just go ahead all in a sense that save for it and really, because there's a lot of emotions involved in the stock market. That's pretty. That's one of the things that is actually weird, right? There are a lot of strategies. Let's say talk about fundamental analysis, where you talk about the basics or the fundamentals of a business, if they're earning or not, right? There's also technical analysis where it talks about the volume or how many people are buying a certain stock, a certain price, right? And the different patterns. But for me, especially if it's a hard earned money, it boils down with emotions, right? Because everybody, imagine this, right? Everybody's using the same fundamental and technical analysis. They, it can be, again, it can have different strategies, right? But it's the same fundamental and technical analysis. They're looking at the same data. It's just a matter of interpretation, and it's just a matter of um, the emotions that you have. Is it Are you feeling greedy? Are you feeling fearful? Right? So those things would show up, right? So if you would not be able to master those emotions, then the stock market would be hard for you. You'll lose money, right? And we don't want that to happen. That's why we wanted to start at the level where you can be greedy and you can be fearful, and you'll be able to manage it, right? We'll teach you on how to manage it. But for 5,000, people would just, okay, I lost 5,000, that's it. Maybe the stock market is not for me, right? Without really going into the details of it, right? So that's something very important. So initial capital, let's start with 30,000. If you don't have that, then you can just go ahead and watch this video, or you can go ahead and save first, right? There are a lot of ways for you to save now, especially we're in COVID. If you have work, or right, if you're um, in the near future, right? So you need to save a lot. Um, this COVID-19 teaches us that it's okay to be basic, right? Just have the right food, You have the clothes that you have. You don't need a lot, right? So actually, um, it's possible, right? And then the next part would be the recurring capital. With the recurring capital, maybe or recurring funds, I would say. Recurring funds would actually help you, right? Give you the possibility to invest more. Because people would sometimes think that if they invest in the stock market, once they put, for example, the 30,000, once they put the 30,000, it would become 60,000, 90,000, or it would double in just a few weeks or few months, right? So if they don't, if the money don't actually double in a year or two, they'll just give up. Yes, it happens. There are some that actually multiplies. I mean, if you have 30,000, it can go as high as maybe 100,000, 200,000. But it doesn't happen all the time. There are some just I can show you some later on when we as we go through the different sessions. It's possible, right? But that's only one out of 200. So your odds are very limited, right? So how do you make sure that you still continue, right? You still continue to learn, you still continue or give you the opportunity to earn more. Then you'll come in with the recurring capital. Recurring capital is where you can, um, for some, you'd call this top up, right? You top up your account, meaning you add funds. Adding funds on your account would actually help you gain more because when we're talking about the stock market, we're talking about volume, we're talking about quantity, right? So, for example, I have 10,000 pesos and I earn 20%. So, what's 20% of 10,000? 2,000, right? But what if I have 200,000? What's 10%? Sorry, is it 10? Anyway, so 10,000, you have 20%, you have 2,000. 200,000, you have 20%, that's 40,000, right? So it's a matter of volume. It's a matter of how much you invest, right? If you invest a little, you earn a little. If you invest a lot, you earn a lot, right? But of course, the same way. If you invest a little, you lose a little. If you invest a lot, there's a possibility of losing as well, right? That's why we teach you, or there's once we go along with the other section of this series, then we'll help you make sure that you lessen your losses, right? There are some ways in order for you to do that. So that's very important, right? And then the next one, of course, is you need to have an account and a bank account. Um, it's just amazing, right? Because I've been talking to other people wanting to invest in the stock market, but they don't have a bank account ever, right? So meaning they didn't work as an employee. Most probably they are freelancers or they get their salary cash, so they don't have bank accounts, but they wanted to invest in the stock market. If you want to invest in the stock market, you need to have a bank account. Why? Because you are not allowed. So if you're not allowed to give your investment directly to a broker, right? That's not or that's against the rules. So how it works is you open a bank account where as you for example I want to open BPI, BDO or U-Trade. There's a lot, right? I'll show you later. And you need to check what is their affiliate banks. So just for simplicity, because my company is with BPI, so just give that as an example. This is not a sponsored by BPI though, right? Um, but if they want, sure, why not? Um, so what you do is, or you just open an account with BPI, right? Because I already have. an account with, or a savings account or payroll account with BPI. But for example, I want to open a, let's say, COL Financial. They're not a bank, right? So most likely you need to open a bank account with somebody else. And that, let's say, BPI as well. So I need to open a BPI account and link it to COL so that I'll just fund it through BPI. Excuse me. Let me just drink water. Right. So you fund it through your um, bank account, and it links to your broker's account. It's the same way as online payments, right? You pay your bills online, and then it gets paid. So the same thing, right? So um, for banks, you just like pay your broker, and once, for example, I'll pay or deposit 30,000 in my account. So it goes to the bank, and I'll inform the broker, or maybe it's automatic. It depends on the system. Then it would reflect on my account, on my broker account. Now, once I have that account, then I'll be able to use that 30,000 to buy certain stocks. Okay? So we clear? All right. So this is the old Philippine Stocks Exchange, right? They move actually to BGC now. So this is an old one. But this is the stock market. This is how it looks like. Like, let me just play a video. I think I have a video here. Let me just share my screen. So here, you'd actually see the interface of one of the broker system or platform, right? So if you notice, the stock market is now open. You'd see there are a lot of moving parts, right? So different platforms would have different interface, but overall, or yeah, overall, it's the same approach, right? Where you'd see your stocks, you'd see your portfolio, or here where you could order, right? This is where you can buy, right? And this is as well where you would be able to sell your stocks. So we'll go into this in a little bit more details on the next few videos that I'll be having, right? But again, this is the interface of the stock market, and each platform would have a different way of buying and selling and showing your portfolios and the like. So let's go back now to the slides again. How to open an account. So first, you need to have, or you need to decide, right? There are two options. The first one is, do you want a um, traditional one, or you want to have the online? Traditional meaning you need to call the broker, right, in order for you to buy and sell. Online, you just open your browser, and or maybe for some, open up your app on your phone, and you can go ahead and buy and sell stocks already. But since we are full-time employees, or we don't have time in some sense, let's go ahead and select online brokers. So if you take a look at this online brokers, there are several brokers that you can choose from, right? And some of this already mentioned a while ago. All right. So for now, let's go ahead and open up this one, and let's have, I don't know, COL, which is very common for everybody, and then BPI, and then triple A equities. All right. So let's have that, right? So for BPI, so pretty basic. You'll go to this website and you see here open an account. So you just click that, and it would give you general terms and conditions. So you just scroll down or you agree, right? And then you fill this up, complete the BPI trade if it's individual or joint account. So if you have two or more, of course you use a joint account. So you just click on individual account. If it's individual, then you answer this, right? Once you answer this, then it would give you a series of questions more, right? And then you need to download this FACTA questionnaire. What is FACTA? I think let's Google what's FACTA just to be sure. Fair and Accurate Credit Transactions Act, right? So there. And then for US persons, you need to download the W-9 form. For non-US person with US indicia or US place of birth or US resident mailing address, right? Then you download the W-8 form, right? So most likely, if you're Filipino, you don't need those number 3 and um, number 4, right? So what you need to do is print the application form that we have there a while ago, and then the FACTA questionnaire, right? And again, as mentioned, IRC forms W9 and or W8 Ben if necessary. And then one cool thing about this one is you don't need to go to BPI Trade or in Ayala, in Makati, where their office is. You just go ahead and go to your nearest BPI branch, may it be family or BPI itself, right? And submit your forms. So there's no additional transportation for you unless there's no BPI branch near you, right? It takes about a week or two. Now I'm not sure, especially with COVID-19, I'm not sure how fast they can do that. It's faster if you go directly to their main office, but that's that, right? So you need to have IDs when you're submitting this. So make sure that you have company ID, passport, or driver's license, and the like. And then once you have that, the branch officer would actually just ask you to sign stuff, right? And you're good to go. All right, so that's for BPI trade. For COL, right? So open an account. So you see there, right? So you need to have a government issued ID, just one. So driver's license or passport would do. And then of course your TIN number. Again, because there are some tax involved here, but don't worry about it. Right? So here you have an online express, right? Or you can actually do the print and you send this to any COL investor center. So now most likely you'll do option one, which is you submit all online requirements and then activate it as well online. So how does this look like? So you'll have here, right? So make sure that you have your government ID and a blank sheet of paper for signature. So you'll sign and then probably take a photo of it. And then bank details, as mentioned, you need to have a bank account, right? And if you are employed or self-employed, you need to have your SSS and TIN numbers. And if you are 18 years old and below, then you need to have a birth certificate as well. And you click on get started and then you agree and then you fill up this one. There are three steps, right? So let's go back. So now that you've seen that, after that, once your account is approved, then you need to fund your account. So for COL, it's treated as a bill, right? Just like Meralco or your internet, right? So there are several banks where they are associated with. So it can be any from BPI, BDO, Metrobank, AUB, China Bank, Robinsons, and Union Bank. So you can do that online or also over the counter as bills payment, right? If you are an OFW, then you can use this. Usually BDO, iRemit, and BDO overseas remittance as a form to fund your account as well. And that's that, right? Now for you trade, so open an account. So you have three options. You have online application or with M. Louvillier. So let's try online application. So here you type your account information. This is where you input your information to log into their system, right? And then you have your personal info and then investor profile. It would likely a questionnaire where it would give you, they would rate you as probably conservative or aggressive and the like, right? And then they have the U trade awareness, and then you review and print, and then send the documents over. All right. And then how do you fund the account? So you have online funding, over the counter, and ATM funding. Let's do the online funding, right? And to see which banks do they have. So for them, they have three banks, which is the BPI Online, BDO, and then China Bank. So those are the banks that you have. All right. So for BPI, you enroll them as a third party, right? So that there's no payment because I think right now, if you transfer online through a third party account, there's a payment for BPI, right? And then this is their checking or current account number. All right. And then the last one that we'll look at would be the AA equities, right? This is actually new, right? Because I think they're the only ones that's offering the cut losses and then the buy breakouts on their system, right? So I'm actually interested with this one. I'm just checking on the opportunity when to open an account with them, right? But for you, just sign up, right? And then again, it's the same thing. You have your username or you create your user information to access the system, and then the personal information, and then account information, then you're signed up, right? So technically, it's the same thing for all. So it's just a matter of how you fund your account. So they have BDO, Metro Bank, Union Bank, and BPI. And if you're an OFW, then you have the BPI as well, right? For OFW remittances. And then, yeah, I think that's it, right? And to make it faster, the same way with the other brokers that I use, right? Most of the time, if I do it online, I screenshot the you know confirmation, and then I send them to their customer support or for this one support email address, and after a couple of minutes, then my account would be credited with the amount that I deposit. So that's very important. For example, there's a certain stock that I would really like to buy right now, but I don't have funds on my account. All right. So I think that's that, right? So for now, we'll end the session here because our next session, you need to have an account, right? So I know that you're just starting out, so you need to have an account. And it's hard for you to actually move forward if you don't have an account. So the next video would come after a week, but of course, if I uploaded this already, or if you've been watching, or if you're watching this after several months, then you can go to the next video after getting your broker's account. So for now, thank you for watching. And again, if you enjoyed this session or if you learned something from this session, don't forget to subscribe so that you'll be notified as well on our next video. But make sure that you hit the notification button below. Thank you and see you soon.